Barron's been very unique of a guy to be on. Like, I'm sitting there for an hour and a half, I'm like, this guy's so entertaining. Talking crap, telling jokes, telling stories. Bunch of 30, 40, 50-year-olds are sitting there listening to him. He controlled the table for like an hour and a half.
I think he could run the country at some point.
Wow.
He's on track.
Yeah.
He is dialed in. He understands it from the media. He understands the part that he plays in it. He understands what his father's going through. He understands geopolitics. I argue that Barron understands the world better than 99% of grown-ass men.
Barron Trump. I spent some time with Barron. He invited me. I came to Mar-a-Lago, sat down. I watched your son.
I saw you.
For an hour and a half, 2 hours, how he was. And I'm watching how he's talking to Kobe, all these other guys sitting at the table. And I'm like, very interesting. And I know your Melania, I think, called him Little Donald. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she gave that nickname to him.
He's not so little because he's a pretty tall guy.
Barron Trump, at the remarkably young age of 18, has already experienced a life that most would find unfathomably tumultuous by the standards of public scrutiny and political drama. As the youngest son of Donald Trump, he has navigated a childhood and adolescence under the intense spotlight of American politics, witnessing firsthand the highs and lows of his father's political journey. Barron's resilience in the face of this unique upbringing is not only a testament to his personal strength, but also highlights his emerging role in influencing political strategy, particularly through the medium of podcasts, which played a pivotal role in Donald Trump's recent election victory. From the moment Donald Trump entered the political arena, Barron was thrust into the public eye, a position no child seeks or deserves. Yet he managed through this with a notable grace and an apparent disinterest in seeking the limelight. His early years were punctuated by his father's campaign, presidency, and the subsequent controversies, including allegations, impeachment trials, and legal battles. While many children would crumble under such pressures, Barron maintained a private life, focusing on his education and personal interests, shielded yet not entirely protected from the political storm.
How is Barron?
He's so cool. That's like the one word I'll use for Barron. He's very cool. He's like the sleeper a little bit. He's kind of stayed out of the spotlight. Probably intentionally.
It's very hard to do so when you're 6'10", by the way.
It's a little hard to do.
Yeah, you kind of stick out.
It's funny, when I saw him on stage, I'm used to my husband and my father-in-law like being the tallest people. And then I saw like a clip of us all walking on stage the other night. And I was like, God, Barron makes us all look so little, which is okay with me because I'm 5'11". I don't mind taking a little bit off.
But you used the word. You said something when you were being interviewed like 5 years ago. You said, he's strong, he's vicious, he's tough.
Well, he's very smart. He's a good student and all that. Goes to a great school and does really well. And he's a very nice guy. You see that. Mm-hmm. He's a very, he doesn't mind being alone, but he's somebody that gets along with people.
It's no joke. I actually had an opportunity to make him his first custom suits recently.
Oh, no way.
I flew my tailor in. I made suits for him and Bo, his best friend.
Yeah.
And we're walking through Mar-a-Lago after doing the suits.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like the VP and geopolitics and BRICS and Putin and sanctions. And I look up and Secret Service on my right, about 10 yards, Secret Service on my left, and Secret Service behind me. And we're walking through one of the most beautiful places in the world, Mar-a-Lago, on the grounds. He's just talking about, well, Putin this and, North Korea and what do you think's going to happen with, and I was really enjoying the conversation, but there was a moment for me where I just look left, look right, and look back behind me. And I was like, this is sick.
Justin Waller expresses admiration for Barron Trump, suggesting he possesses a deep understanding of the world, potentially surpassing many adults. Waller notes Barron's maturity at 18, indicating he is well prepared for future leadership roles.
It was that night we sat under this canopy again, Secret Service, right, left, back.
Yeah.
Just not close enough to hear what you're saying, but close enough to, they're there, right?
Yeah.
Strap. And he's sitting there telling me all the options that he thought were possible for the vice president and why he chose them based off the academies they went to. He was just pacing back and forth. Well, it could be this guy, could be this guy. He didn't know, and he was in this deep thought, and like we're going back and forth. Colby Covington, the UFC fighter, was sitting there, and his friend Bo. He was in this deep thought about it. But I was so impressed with how he knew the backgrounds of every possible person that it could be. And how he had an opinion based off their resume and what school they went to. He's a very special young man. He's a perfect storm.
Barron's transition into young adulthood coincided with a transformative period for his father's political campaign. As Donald Trump sought re-election, traditional media strategies seemed less effective in capturing the zeitgeist of a new generation of voters. Here, Barron's influence became quietly significant. His understanding of modern media consumption, particularly among young men, led him to advise his father on engaging with podcasts, a platform where younger demographics spend considerable time.
He's really smart. He's very cool, very entertaining. He's his father's son. Like, there's no doubt about it. And he's going to do really incredible things. I think you've already seen so far. He's really come in. And there have been many times I've been traveling over the course of the campaign with my father-in-law in the car with him going places. And Barron will call and he'll say, "Dad, I have an idea as to how you can get more votes." And it'll be, you need to go meet, go to this baseball stadium or do this, whatever. Wow. He's always throwing ideas out there. And so, we got to give Barron some serious credit.
This strategic choice was not just about visibility, but about connecting with an audience that traditional political campaigning might miss. Barron recommended appearances on shows like The Joe Rogan Experience, known for its massive, diverse listenership, and other podcasts popular among the bro vote demographic. His suggestions were not only taken but lauded by senior campaign advisors like Jason Miller, who acknowledged Barron's podcast picks as absolute ratings gold. This move helped Donald Trump reach a segment of the electorate that was crucial for his victory, showcasing Barron's savvy understanding of current media trends and political outreach.
Barron Trump got the ear of Trump and knew the podcast world, and Trump, being very entrepreneurial and a risk taker, decided to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because he picked a lot of podcasts that you'd only pick if you knew the podcast world. I think Rogan's an obvious choice because he's the 800-pound gorilla.
The effectiveness of this strategy was evident in the election results, where Trump made significant inroads with younger male voters, a group that had previously leaned Democrat but showed a marked shift towards the Republican side during this election cycle. Barron's role in this shift was subtle, yet impactful. He was not just a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping his father's media strategy. His insights helped bridge the gap between traditional voter outreach and the evolving landscape of digital media, where many young voters gather their information and entertainment.
He's 18 years old, but he's like
He's not an average 18-year-old, though.
No, he's very smart. He's very.
Is he good with the ladies in school?
Well, I don't think. I'm not sure.
Is he there yet? Or?
I'm not sure he's there yet. No, I'm not sure he's there.
Donald doesn't think Barron has a girlfriend yet, joking he's too focused on soccer and school. But when he said, "Barron, you should bring a date next time," Barron smiled and replied, "I did, Dad. She's just great at staying out of the spotlight."
I don't think he's had a girlfriend yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. Every once in a while,
he's a good-looking guy. He's a
good-looking guy. Yeah,
he's got the swagger. He's a good troller. He's funny. He's witty. Last question for you.
And I have good kids. I mean, my kids are good.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that your old best friend Hillary Clinton gave you credit of. If you remember that one time when she said, "What's the credit?" You said she's not she doesn't give up, and she said you've raised great kids.
I think that's a very fair and important question. Look, I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald. I don't agree with nearly anything else he says or does, but I do respect that. And I think that is something that as a mother and a grandmother is very important to me.
He's the perfect mix of the intelligence it takes and the proper. But if you set him down with a CEO with a blue collar background, he'd be able to drink a beer with him.
Barron Trump's story is one of resilience under extraordinary circumstances, demonstrating maturity beyond his years. While his involvement in the political sphere remains behind the scenes, his influence is undeniable. His strategic advice on podcast appearances was a critical component in Donald Trump's campaign playbook, potentially altering the course of the election by engaging with an audience in a way that was fresh, unscripted, and highly effective. As Barron steps into adulthood, his early experiences in such a charged environment suggest he might play an even more significant role in future political landscapes, either in the background or potentially at the forefront, should he choose to engage more openly. Thus, Barron Trump stands as a figure of interest not only for his lineage, but for his demonstrated resilience and strategic acumen, encapsulating a narrative of growth, adaptation, and influence in the ever-evolving world of American politics.
Barron Trump was
Yeah.
raised in the White House.
Yeah.
He's the only Trump child that literally grew up in the White House.
That's right.
So his perspective is vastly different from probably everybody else's.
Let's not forget how Melania Trump has been an unwavering pillar of support for her son Barron, navigating the treacherous waters of public life with grace and determination. Without her protective and nurturing presence, Barron would have been exposed to the relentless barrage of online bullying and media scrutiny that comes with being part of one of the world's most watched families. Melania's dedication to shielding Barron from this negative attention while fostering his personal growth and privacy has been nothing short of heroic, ensuring he could grow up as normally as possible under extraordinary circumstances. Will Barron end up in the White House like his dad? Or will he team up with Elon Musk to become the first Trump to set foot on Mars? Thanks for joining the conversation. If you enjoyed this, give us a like and subscribe for more out-of-this-world content.